Oh, I mean, you got to play that one, right? Usually in a cold open, we come up with something on the spur of the moment, just like we're doing now, where we don't know where it's going, and then Sam makes it uncomfortable and weird, and that usually works. But today we got a really good cold open because it's not about us. It's about them. Look at that.
Yes.
That's right. It's welcome, everybody, to the DLLS Stars Pregame Show. We are live from our usual lounge studio, but we're not alone today because you already saw it. The DLLS Stars Takeover is happening for the first time, and it's already so sold out that we'll probably do it again because of these fine folks. Yeah.
They're getting good at that.
I know.
Yeah.
We should do this every day.
This could become a thing.
You imagine having a live studio
This
audience
could be a thing.
for the 9 o'clock Central Time Pacific. Yeah, nobody would show up. It would just be us. No, you guys probably
I don't
would.
know. I know a couple would.
Nice Anaheim puck drop. Okay.
Free beer.
We are, for those of you watching this on our YouTube channel, thank you for joining us on our usual slot, but we are recording this a little early today because everybody you just heard from bought tickets to the DLLS Stars Takeover event. So part of it is coming into the studio to see us, which is clearly the main draw.
Get to the important part.
Then there's food and
Where?
drinks at Hooters.
That's the
That
important
is the
part.
only reason Luds is still here today.
Or here
And then
at all.
after that, all of us are going to sit in the 300 level and watch the Dallas Stars play the Pittsburgh Penguins. When they booked this event or created it, we thought this might be one of the top teams in the league versus one of the worst teams in the league, and that is not the case at all. We'll get into that. But before we do, DLS Die Hard Takeover, sold out. Everyone's here. We're going to have a lot of fun today. It means we'll probably do it again, which means you need to be a diehard so you have early access. Because is anybody here not a diehard? One? Oh, don't call her out. But the point is that diehards got early access. I believe that originally was in the Discord, which Lud still doesn't know what that is. That's okay. And so what does that mean? It means that if you don't sign up with the QR code on your screen right now to be a diehard, you will not get early notice, early access, and it will probably sell out before you get a chance to do it. So sign up to be a diehard. It's one of many great perks. And apparently, Sam, something's going on with the branded bills this week. Maybe? You have nothing you want to add about that? Are you allowed to?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
No comment.
Yeah, but apparently they already know. I mean, all the diehards already know.
Well, do people know that we already have them?
No, we don't have a
something
Ryan
special.
Is telling us
Something
don't
special.
See, Ryan, that's something I would do.
That is exactly.
Let the cat out of the bag when you're not
Live
supposed to.
mistakes here.
Keep an eye out on our website. There might be something there. Okay.
Sorry, Ben.
Let's talk about this one. Well, no, before we get into the game today and our whole takeover event and everything that's fun, we do have one thing that's kind of a sad note that we have to start with, which is the former owner of the Dallas Stars, Tom Hicks, passed away yesterday at age 79. Of course, everybody remembers him from his long reign as the owner of the Stars, including the 99 Cup year. He also was the owner of the Texas Rangers baseball team and also, coincidentally, my favorite English soccer team, Liverpool FC. Luds, you played when he was the owner. You worked as the owner, broadcasted. You know him really well. I worked for his son's sort of offshoot company that owned the Texas Stars back in the day, but I never met Tom. Do you have anything you want to say about his legacy?
Yeah, I sent a message to Tommy Jr. this morning, and basically what I said to him was, I said, this organization here now today wouldn't be what it is without him when he took the team over. And that's not to take anything away from Mr. Green, because he's the one that ultimately brought the team here. But Tom, that was important. The other thing was, one of the reasons we won the Stanley Cup is because Tom went up to Bob Gainey and said, what do we need to get past the Detroit Red Wings. Little did we know it was the Colorado Avalanche, but he said he came up with Brett Hull. And so Hully came here that next year, scored a goal. Some will say it's controversial, but obviously not. But
still counts.
And I will tell you one funny thing with Tom is when they broke ground for that building that they're playing in, there was a check that was being passed down from American Airlines for this number. So it was huge. And it went from Nui, Hatch was standing next to Mr. Hicks. So it was going to go from Nui, I think Mo. No, sorry. It went Nui, Hatch, me, Mo, and then it was going to go to Mr. Hicks. Well, as soon as it got to me, I didn't even get to close my hand on it. Tom reached over and just pulled it out of my hand and said, "I'll take that." So nobody got to take it, but it was a good sized check. But again,
I wouldn't trust Tom, you with it either.
Tom was that guy, and it was a different time, no salary cap, all that kind of stuff that was in play at the time. He was that guy that whatever this team needed, he was willing to do it, and he did catch me one day, I will say, at his house during a party, peeing in the bushes outside.
And he happened to catch you.
Not that was Mr. Hicks.
Not somebody else.
He goes, "Luds,
the guy.
There is bathrooms inside." And I said, "I know, but the front door was closed."
That's not the first or last time you've been caught in that way.
So, but great man. Saw him last year. Looked awesome. Sad day and again, I know the Texas Rangers. He had something to do with Texas Rangers and all that other stuff. So, great man.
I think you might be the only one that eulogizes Tom Hicks talking about hydrating his landscaping. So
yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this game today because big news of the day for the Stars is the activation of Nils Lundkvist and Matt Duchene from LTIR. We, again, recording this early. Glenn Gullison isn't speaking for another hour plus from the time that we started taping this. So we don't know yet what will happen by the time this airs. So that's the only non-ideal part of pre-recording. But we do have a feeling that they wouldn't activate those guys if they weren't playing today. Correct, Sam?
Yep. I think they'll both play, which is crazy to me. I was just talking to Luds about this before the show. We heard so little about Nils, right? Nils was the last we heard specifically was that he tried to put his foot in a boot, a skate for the first time.
Not that long ago.
A week ago, maybe. Yeah. And it didn't go very well. So to go from that to, hey, he's playing tomorrow possibly is just wild, but it's great to see. I know as much as I hate writing about the injuries, I know people hate reading and listening to about the injuries. So the fact that they can get healthy here, and on the personal side of Matt Duchene, with everything he's going through, we've seen how frustrated he's been. To see him back in the lineup and hopefully staying in the lineup is just huge for the athlete as well as the team on the ice.
I would add to that, but with Matt, I think the most important thing that comes out of today's game for him is if he's in the lineup, is he plays the next game.
Yep.
For me,
yes.
That's the most important
not
part.
Just one off.
Whether it's 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever it need be, you want to see Duchene in the lineup.
Without over speculating, do you think that's why it's taken so long? Is that they wanted to, the training staff, medical wanted to make sure that didn't happen?
I think this is fully up to Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been cleared for
he was medically cleared
for a couple weeks at least.
I think especially with a guy that's earned, the right to come back when he wants to come back and when he feels comfortable. And we've talked enough about, Sam reports one day he's got a dark shield on, next day one's a light. And that has to do with these things up here that I can't stand either. But he goes out, he skates, and the lights will affect it, and he'll end up having a headache one day. And there's times where he's gonna skate for 2 days or 3 days, and he feels great. Then all of a sudden on the fourth day, something pops up, and he might not even be on the ice. Well, then you take a step backwards. And so I'm guessing that through this period now, since he's skated last and done some things, he feels good. He's ready to go. So again, I hope he gets through the game great, and we can see him. And I think it's nice that his teammates have done a good job in his absence. It's
decent.
To say he hasn't been missed is not the right way to put it, but they've gone and done a hell of a job without Matt in the lineup, and they're just going to be better with him. And don't expect Matt to go out and get 2 goals and 3 assists today, but we just want him to get through the game. I know now he's going to get a couple.
He's going to get a couple goals, and then let's just say,
who else should we call out? Colin Blackwell.
Yeah,
you love Colin. He thinks very highly of Colin Blackwell. Yeah, that's right. I think this is a good time for us to play a little speculation game because we will have not known until the warm-up what they might be doing as far as who plays with who. So take a look at the Stars forwards that initially, Luds, when I put this up here, I said, let's put Matt Duchene with Wyatt Johnston and Mikko Rantanen because that causes the least amount of trickle-down change for the other lines. It's literally moving Sam Steele down to play with Fox and Blackwell. My guess is Bastian would be the guy that gets healthy scratch, which I think that, Sam, you and I are pretty much in agreement. He's probably the guy out.
Yeah.
But there are so many different ways you can do this. Matt Duchene's always been a center. With Dallas, he's played in the middle, and we have 5 different ideas. But, Luds, we'll start with you. Where would you put Matt Duchene for today's game, knowing that we have no idea yet what the coaches are going to do?
I have no idea. I honestly don't. I don't. Me personally, I want Matt in the middle of the ice. That's where he feels most comfortable. And again, for everything that he's gone through and sitting out a period, I would rather put him comfortable in a spot where he understands how to navigate both sides. He's not playing up against the wall. He's not playing up against the glass. He's in the middle of the ice, which I know that's where he got hit, but he's done a good job over his career about his vision and spotting all that stuff. I just think you put him in a spot where – and there may be a conversation. Matt, we're thinking about this. How do you feel? Would you rather go back to the middle of the ice? I think he deserves to say, I prefer to be in the middle of the ice. Okay, well, then we take Ritz and we put him on the wall or whatever it may be. But, I mean, I've been sitting here. I mean, it's a joke.
I got 15 of them on here.
I mean,
you were chirping us before the show about how many different possible combinations we were.
No, I'm like, I don't even know why you have a set combo, because even when you do think you have it right, Gully changes it.
Yeah.
And that's been part of their success. I mean, you talk about teams that come in and they pre-scout for 1 game, 2 games prior. Well, okay, we want to match this guy up here. Like, who's gonna play against Malkin today? Who's gonna play against Crosby? Because we want them to go against Hinton, Rantanen. Maybe we can kind of do that thing. Well, then next thing you know, they're playing with different people, which is the brilliance of what Gully's done to this point.
Sam, I like when Lud said moving Ritzkovian to have Duchene in the middle. What is more important to you? Having Duchene play center, where you, for example, this way, you're probably not moving Wyatt Johnston off that line with Rantanen. Would you put him in the middle with like Ritzkovian and Bork, or do you play him with guys like Mikko Rantanen and Wyatt Johnston?
Yeah, personally, I'd put him on that line. I'd put him with Ritzkovian and Bork, move back down to that 4th line.
Keep Steele up with
as much
Rantanen.
As Steele has had his troubles. Of course, as soon as I called him out, he scored last time, so beauty. But I would have Sam Steele with Johnston and Rantanen, Robertson, Hintz, and Ben stay the same, and then you have Ritzkovian, Duchene, Bork, Beck, Fox, and Blackwell. That's just the way I would do it, just because I think the way they've done it in the past is when a guy comes back, they don't throw him right back into a top spot, whether it's top 6, whatever.
He's going to take some time. 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I think the big thing Lud said is comfort. Matt Duchene has played center for so long. If you said, hey, you're going to come back for the first time since, October 18th or something like that, right? You don't want to throw him on the wall and get him in different situations than he already is. Put him comfortably. He might not have a ton of points in offense. That's okay. Just play in the middle and get yourself back into the game.
So I'd like to see 21, 24, and 96 together. That's just me.
So what would you do then?
They have options.
I don't know.
Would you put Wyatt on the right with
Wyatt
Duchene?
can play anywhere. Yes, that's where I had him penciled in. But I get where they don't want to split up the pairs. I talk about pairs all the time.
So good.
But I just think that those 3, again, if you want to have a line, especially with Crosby in town, and Crosby's 48 right now, and he's still dominating the game. But if you want to keep the puck away from that guy, have 3 puck possession guys play together that spend the majority of the game in the offensive zone and keep Crosby or Malkin, whoever it may be, in their D zone versus at the other end of the rink.
It's been a while since we got a cheer. Can we get a cheer, maybe?
Well, I got that for you in just a second.
Oh, jumping ahead.
Yeah, just a second.
Too excited.
Expectations for Matt Duchene today, knowing that he hasn't played since the 18th of October.
I expect his hands are the same. He's been skating for a while, so he should have the hands. He should have some of the senses that he always has. I expect conditioning to maybe be his thing. So maybe he's a little slower to get to areas. Lud's always talks about the mental part being a little bit tougher. I would expect to see him a little bit slower, not as much attacking, maybe a little bit more hesitant to make some of the plays. But Matt Duchene is one of the smartest players on this team. I would not be surprised if by mid-second period he looks pretty close to the same Matt Duchene.
Ludsy looked in morning skates and practices over the last couple of weeks like Matt Duchene.
I agree with Sam. Again, I think his shifts will be a little bit shorter. I know there's a first time for everything. No, I agree with Sam. I think if Matt Duchene's coming back, it's because Matt Duchene feels he can be the same guy that he's been for the last 15 years. Yep. So he's going to come back and you're going to see him buzzing through the middle of the ice. He's going to make the same kind of passes that he makes and, tape to tape. And are there going to be some rough spots? Maybe a couple, but I believe that if he's back, he's back. But the shifts to me he'll gradually build up to getting to that 45, 50-second shift. Maybe not. Maybe he plays a minute and a half and he feels great. He should be well rested, that's for sure.
That's for darn sure. Coming up next, we're going to talk about Nils Lundkvist and the defense, and then take a look at the Penguins. but I have a feeling you guys would like a Luds live ad read. What about you guys? Would you like to?
There it is.
We don't have a Grundle for you today, but we do have this here on DLLS.
Have you? By the way, have you guys heard about that face-off collection thing we got going on? It's relatively new. I don't know. And
There it is.
it's still the same shirts up there. Surprisingly, it's the green and the black one. So, is there any debate? Women, raise your hands. Is there any debate where the stars are located on that shirt?
No, I think we've solved that.
Have we solved the problem?
Brian could also raise his hand. He's wearing it.
Okay. And
Is that good on the nipples?
so, hey,
Knew
Confirmed.
He was doing that.
did you get my picture from last night of the Finnish mafia dude? You never put it up there, did you? You didn't think that far ahead to do that.
Because he
I ran into-
he didn't ask him to.
He didn't
You
get asked,
guys
yeah.
know his last name. Apparently, he's a diehard. His last name is Ruggles or anybody know? Ever
I'm
recognize
going to
it?
pull it up here in a second.
I'm at an event, or I'm at my daughter-in-law's party last night, birthday party, and there's I don't know shit. There's a bunch
You
of people
said they
there.
call him Ruggles.
Ruggles.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I look in the crowd,
There it is.
and
right
here's Foster Brooks.
Beauty.
Anybody know who Foster Brooks was? Probably not. One guy. Anyway, nope. Anyway, Google him. Google him. So
Use your
here's this
Google
dude in
machine.
the middle of the crowd, stumbling and banging in and bouncing into people. As a matter of fact, when I left, I saw him roll over the back of a chair and roll into the middle of the living room. Well, he's wearing that Finnish Mafia shirt. I've talked for a minute 12, and Ryan still can't get this thing up
Keep
here.
going, Speedy. Ryan, why don't you show us the Finnish Mafia shirt? How's
Yeah,
that?
that
there.
one.
That's a smart move.
How's that for
Because,
settling?
and then we'd like to see it on Rumbles or Ruggles or whatever it is, because he does it. He fills it out well. So, anyways, go ahead, Sam. So there's our Finnish Mafia shirt. That's my.
alldls.com for your
Yeah, that
merchandise.
was one of your better merch reads ever.
I had material from last night.
Also, you could join our YouTube supporters club, because supporters club is where it's at. It is for the real ones and the true sicko level fans, which T.O., I believe, is here. Oh, yeah, he's
Hiding
a
in
true
the back.
sicko level fan. T.O. has gifted more supporters club than I can even imagine. So you get exclusive badges, as Harry loves to say. We don't need no stinking badges. You can get exclusive emojis, including a Luds emoji, which has been the favorite. The more people that join, the more emojis we get. Join the supporters club, and you can also get behind the scenes videos, which I promise you are hilarious and stupid. So join now.
Definitely the second part.
What?
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you, Sam and Luds. You guys definitely didn't disappoint the live studio
You're
audience.
welcome.
Let's talk about Nils Lundkvist for a minute, because Ilya Lyubushkin did not practice yesterday. He missed a couple of games. He got back in the lineup, but now we don't know yet, but we'll find out by the time this airs whether or not he's playing. But the way that Gully talked to the assembled media over at the McKinney rink, which is about 5 minutes closer to my house than the Frisco practice rink, American Center, they had their offsite over at the Children's Star Center in Children's Health Star Center in McKinney yesterday. The way that Gully said
Good crowd, I heard, too.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the way he said it, it just sounded like Lyubushkin wasn't playing today, right? He said, well, we got to wait and find out in the morning. But Nils might play, which we now know he's activated, or they might have to call somebody up. So I think all signs are saying that Lyubushkin won't play. So Nils hasn't played since October 16th against the Vancouver Canucks, which is the game that
Only played 4 games.
Duchene missed. Also only played 4 games.
Jeez.
Then Duchene played that game on the 18th in St. Louis, coincidentally. Excuse me, the last time the Stars lost a road game in regulation, which October 18th.
That's wild.
So take a look at the defense. Now the question is, how do you use Nils Lundkvist? Because this was the like for like, Lundkvist for Lyubushkin. And I'm not concerned about it, but I feel like the coaching staff has shown this year that they try not to put the two youngest defensemen together as a pairing. And so that's why I'm wondering if they might flip Kolyachonok and Capobianco. Or, Luds, in your case, it may be a hodgepodge of pairings.
Well, I think when you, at the end of the game, when you look at minutes played, it's going to be Miro and Petro, in my opinion. Those guys will get the brunt of the load. And again, I look at the top 2 lines from Pittsburgh, and I don't think it's fair throwing Nils in there against one of those guys. And being at home, you have the luxury of, last change. So Coco Cabana there has played great.
He really has.
He's played great. So it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up being the 3rd or 4th guy, depending on power plays and things like that, in minutes at the end of the game, because I think he's been excellent. And I think for Nils, they want to get him up and running because he got an opportunity this year finally under Gully. And he took advantage of it, and he was playing really well. He was playing in the top 4. He was playing with confidence, and I think they want to get him back to that level. So, but I don't think you throw him to the Wolves because, as Sam had said before, he just, we just talked to him. Like, the boot, the foot, and all of a sudden, 3 days later, he's going to play.
Yeah.
So, is it because of Ilya? I mean, is Ilya out today for sure?
Not officially, but he sounds like he is. Yeah,
it sure sounds like it, but we don't know for sure.
I'm curious, Leds, because I was thinking today. I'm thinking, why not?
How many times have you heard Sam say that? I'm curious, Leds.
Curious, or correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
But no, I was thinking about Lindell and Haskin and splitting them up. But as soon as you said that, you don't want Lundkvist with either one of them because then he gets put into those positions. Yeah. So that's why you keep those two together up top and kind of rotate the other ones, right?
Yeah, and there are two different problems because Sid is Sid. Sid is doing everything. Crosby is talking about. Everybody is doing everything, right? And so I don't know if you, again, first game back in a long time, you put him against him. And then my other concern with Malkin is his size. And I don't know if it'd be fair just if he's healthy. Nils has gotten better about positionally being in the right spots. But because of the size and strength of Malkin, I don't know if you want to put him in that situation either, which is why I look at Petro. I think Petro might be the guy that gets Malkin, and then Miro gets – and SMA just play with both of them. Who knows? He plays
30 minutes.
29 games, you know what I mean? So I just think that, they're going to keep Miro against Crosby because he's probably the hottest guy, on that team right now. And Miro can shut him down, I believe. Not that anybody has to this point this year. And Malkin maybe not as quick, so that's where I think Petro might get some of those minutes against him.
All right, let's talk about the Penguins because they are not the bottom feeders that all these pundits at the beginning of the year, and they started to sell us on it. We thought they were going to be a pretty bad team. They're, in fact, in the first wild card right now. Of course, 5 other teams are tied with them in points, so it's a long way to go with still about 2/3 of the season still to be played. But they, like the Stars, are feasting on their power play. They have the number 1 ranked power play in the league, but more specifically, they have the number 1 road power play, and the Stars have the number 1 home power play. Kind of feels like special teams is going to play a big role tonight.
Which means it won't, right? Always seems to be that way. I just am shocked, and I've said this so many times. Sidney Crosby just does not slow down. I mean, I think everybody, including Penguins, GMs, and media and fans, thought that the Penguins were going to be a rebuild team. They're gonna maybe Crosby's gonna end up on the Colorado Avalanche, and they're not going to be a good team. The only people who didn't want that, Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, and they are proving that they can carry this team to whatever they're going to be. I mean, I can't believe that they're where they are. I don't know that they're a playoff team because it's still really early, and they're still, as you mentioned, they're still in a mix of 7 or 8 other teams. But the fact that they're even here, I thought they would be way at the bottom of the league, and you said it, that power play is lethal. The fact that Dallas has been as good as it has on the power play and Pittsburgh still finds a way to continuously trade spots at the top of the league blows my mind.
It's very rare that we're going to say don't take any bad penalties, because Dallas has been good. But
you hear that, Mikko?
Yeah. Mikko Rantanen, by the way, leads the league in penalties. Mikko Rantanen, and he's 3rd in penalties taken against him. So
and 4th in points.
He's doing everything.
There he is.
But the hard part and the reason that Pittsburgh is doing so well is because they're 29th in 5-on-5 goals for. So they're doing all of their damage on the power play. So, and again, you kind of want to stay out of the box regardless of how your PK is and put their best guys that are out there, put them out there. But, I think today's game comes down to 5-on-5.
Take a look at the Pittsburgh Lions. We're a little bit more confident, but still not sure because Noel Acciari, who's in this group, and Justin Brazeau are on IR. As of this taping, they haven't yet been activated, but both skated with regular jerseys. They may or may not. I believe that if for some reason they decide not to activate either one of Boko and Mama, will probably stay in the lineup for Acciari. But Malkin had the day off yesterday, maintenance day. It looks like they might flop Thomas. Don't call me Tommy anymore. Now it's Thomas on the sheet. It was Tommy Novak with the Predators and Kevin Hayes.
More official.
Hayes played with Crosby last game, but we may see a little bit of that. But then the defensive side is expected to be about the same. But, boy, Crosby, Malkin leading that top. Letang,
there's
ageless
your
as
boy.
well, and there's the guy.
2 of your favorites.
And then, of course, don't forget Matt Dumba in there. and Ryan Shea, who also has a Dallas, Texas Stars connection.
When's the last time you ever heard me say that Erik Karlsson's playing great?
Only the other day for the first time in forever.
Yeah, he's been playing good. I mean, he's got 17 assists on the team. So, I mean, and that's what he is. He's a playmaker, but he's been playing great. I just think that, here's my call, is he's going to be on a highlight reel today.
One way
or
or
another?
On the wrong
side of it?
On the wrong side of it.
Yeah.
Maybe twice. So let's just mark that down.
Sam, do you know, I'm putting you on the spot.
Probably not.
That's okay. I have it written down. Do you know how many successful penalty kills the Stars PK unit have done since the last time they gave up a power play?
25.
Correct. Do you remember which game that
Come
was?
on. I got it right.
It was in his article. He knows.
Oh, see, that shows I didn't read his article. Do you
I
know
don't read it.
what game that was? If you wrote it, you should know. The last time the Stars penalty kill gave up a power play goal against.
No, I don't know.
November 22nd against the Calgary Flames.
Oh.
And it was on the 5-minute major penalty because Mikko Rantanen got kicked out
Classic.
for the second time. That's the last time the Stars gave up a power play goal against. 7 straight games without it. As you said, 25 in a row. And they are now 11th in the league. Remember, they were down near the bottom.
They're 29th at one point.
Not that long ago.
Yeah.
They've shot up. It's because they have gone on a stretch now over the last 14 games, 93.3%.
And they're first, right? And over that span?
I think so.
Yeah.
But
And their goaltending has been so good on the
you know who else
shorthanded.
has great penalty killing? Pittsburgh Penguins. They're 4th overall. Their special teams have been good on both sides. And the thing that, Sam, I think really stands out to me is Tristan Jarry has had a much better season so far. For all the slander about his game going down, he has been much better than young Artur Shilov.
Yeah, I think the key for Pittsburgh has been that consistency. We talked about power play and everything like that, but the fact that no one thought that Jarry was going to be nearly as good as he's
And there's
been.
still rumors about him being
People
possibly
think he might
traded
be
to
moving.
the Edmonton Oilers. And Buds, you're shaking your head.
Why do you want a goalie that's never played in the playoffs in Edmonton? And you got a goalie there. I know Skinner's.
I think he might be
gets
better than
dunked
they
on
had.
every other day, but hasn't he taken his team to 2 Stanley Cup Finals and come a game within
and he's
winning
cheap.
it?
Yes. He's been on the ice for those games, yes.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I'm not saying Skinner's the dude, but I'm just saying
He is when he plays
finds
this
a
team.
way to get teams to the finals, and if you can get there, you never know. Eventually, you're going to win one.
Couple of fun, I'll call them fun facts. Do you remember the last time these two teams met, Dallas and Pittsburgh? It was April of this year, but it was last season. Evgeny Dodonov scored a hat trick. But then Sidney Crosby also scored a hat trick.
yeah.
And they beat the Stars 5-3. But do you remember, I had to watch the highlights this morning because I do remember it once I jogged that memory. Cody Ceci and Thomas Harley colliding in the defensive zone, coughing up the puck that led to Blake Lizotte scoring the go-ahead. And then
What zone did they collide in?
In the defensive zone.
Why do you think they collided? What kind of system were they playing?
They were playing some sort of man-on-man.
You know where I
breakout.
go with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is exactly why their penalty kill is better right now. And I will say, because there's a couple guys that were on the PK aren't out there as much, and so they're using guys like Steele and Beck and Blackwell because they are there and they're keeping things tighter. And then probably the biggest reason is they're getting saved.
Yeah.
Obviously from Casey, but Jake.
I think they were 24th in saves shorthanded or save percentage shorthanded before, and the last 10, 15 games they're like 5th.
And the thing
drastic.
is, being a penalty killer for a long time, you play the right way, the way you're supposed to play. Because again, a 5-on-4 is really a 5-on-5. Goaltender counts. You just leave him worse places to shoot from. I have a hard time not saying shit. I'm just saying it.
I just said it again.
But you leave, and so what happens is then when your penalty killers are doing the right things, and then the puck still goes in.
Yeah.
Now, as a penalty killer, you start to go, I got to block that shot. And really what you're doing is you're hurting your goaltender because now he's looking around and it doesn't work out so well. So I think that they've got the right guys out there, and I think also it buys a couple other guys some extra minutes that they can use for other things. So I think Gully now, after 25, you're getting to that 30, 40 game mark. You're getting things nailed down. Who's who can kill, power play guys, we already know that. And then guys that can play some extra minutes and jump up and down on lines.
Ryan, is it too late to show that graph? We're almost out of time anyway. Is it worth using or should we call it? Okay, so I'll just read this because it's wild.
We're going to go overtime.
They are changing. There's no overtime for the pregame. We're good, Sam.
Yeah, but we got 3 hours
As of the start of the day, before the day games in the NHL began, Jason Robertson was tied for third in the league in goals.
Camera shot.
Oh, he just wants to be on Luds. We have... So, Robo was tied for third in goals with 18, with Sidney Crosby, right? Don't forget he has 18 as well. Wyatt was leading the league and still is with 12 power play goals. Mikko Rantanen has the most power play assists in the league. And listen to these, and he's tied for third in assists overall with 25. And Wyatt's 11th in goals, so he's pretty right up there too. Listen to the points. Rantanen has passed Robertson. He's tied for 5th in the NHL in scoring. Robertson tied for 7th. Wyatt tied for 15th. They're getting it done, the three-headed monster. And by the way, Rope Hint's right behind them too.
Yeah.
So, and Luds, those guys are not being asked to do a lot of penalty killing, and I think that's
huge.
also a good thing because their power play's been so good.
Roll the tape back.
Yep.
A month ago. See what Lud said.
Wash, rinse, repeat. Okay, that's it for us for now. We hope that by the time this airs in about an hour and 15 minutes that
everything has changed.
And we look completely ridiculous, more so than usual. But it's DLLS Stars Takeover Day, so we're going to go get some food. Luds is going to buy everybody some drinks or argue that Ben should be buying them. There's going to be an argument.
Is Ben still here?
Somebody's going to be drinking. And then the best part, we're going to go see the Stars play the Penguins. We'll be back, the three of us, not with our full studio audience for the postgame. Well, it's okay.
I'm going to be wasted.
Aren't you already?
Yeah.
On sparkling water.
2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Double fisting.
Double fisting your sparkling water. Be careful. There's a lot of
I got to go to the bathroom. Come on, let's go.
going on there. For our producer, Ryan Vaughters, for our lovely studio audience. For Lutz, for Sam, I'm Owen. We will see you for postgame right here on DLLS. Thanks for watching.
I believe that they are going to crush these guys tonight.
Going to come back and haunt us.
We all silly like the mayor.